Hello fellow Gunters. Awesome news. The super beloved Blast Dash is back into action. Monster Hunter Now Gunlance gameplay that has been until now heavily based on base Monster Hunter World it is going to evolve into full Monster Hunter Sunbreak. This next Monday, 1st of September, the style customizations for Gunlance and Hammer will be out. In the event lineup this morning has been revealed that we are getting two styles. The Blast Dash style that is said to be about burst fire that also includes ground splitter. And then the Guard Reload style that says that will make Gunlance more around melee attacks, something that makes sense because it includes erupting cannon. If you haven't played Monster Hunter Rise or Sunbreak, these words will hold no meaning for you. Also, since we don't have gameplay available yet, it is hard to imagine how they are going to play out. I have been able to see some gameplay of both styles thanks to Niantic, but I'm not allowed to show it and I will avoid giving much detail. I'm just going to tell you that there are some extra hidden stuff in both styles. They aren't a one-to-one implementation of the Sunbreak moves, and the changes are done to basically allow you to do new powerful stuff. Be hyped! This video is going to be a description of these moves and a demonstration of how I expect them to play out. I will make dedicated videos once they are out. Let's talk a bit about these returning moves using footage from Monster Hunter Sunbreak. These also will give you an idea of what to expect even if we don't know the details. The moves introduced are what Rise calls switch skills. Switch skills are alternative moves to existing stuff. Blast Dash replaces charged shells. Erupting Cannon replaces the Wormstake Cannon. And Guard Reload replaces the Quick Reload. Ground Splitter is a special move, so it doesn't have an equivalent in Monster Hunter Now. I actually have no idea of how Ground Splitter is going to play out in Now because the button input to use it doesn't exist. The only possible options there are either a replacement of Wyvern Fire or can be used with a new input or combo. In Monster Hunter Rise, Ground Splitter is used tossing a wirebug and then scratching the ground with your Gunlance, heating it up. The heated up Gunlance then will deal extra shelling damage for 45 seconds. 45 seconds is almost a whole hunt in Now, so expect it to last a lot less. The damage buff of Ground Splitter is 20%. That is big. Besides buffing, Ground Splitter itself is an attack. It is a big damage sweeping melee attack, and is going to be great for cutting tails. It also has hyper armor and you will be not flinched while performing it, you even get reduced damage. That is why I felt like could be in special. But maybe not. I will leave it at that. Anyways, if the hyper resistance is there, then it will be awesome to go through roars and attacks that cause tremors or gust of wind. By the nature of Monster Hunter Now, do not try to face tank attacks with it unless you want to burn potions. Ground Splitter biggest synergy are shell attacks. Because of this, I find this style will work fine with all three shell types. The biggest counter synergy will be with long because I expect Blast Dash to replace charged shells. But the clear biggest synergy is going to be with normal Gunlances. Ground Splitter will buff your burst fires that are the strongest shell attack besides charged shells, and Blast Dash main combat use has always been fast, easy access to burst fire. Let's talk Blast Dash next. Blast Dash was very beloved in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate and Rise because it was primarily a solution to Gunlance mobility problem. In Monster Hunter Now, this feature will also be greatly welcomed because a lot of monsters charge too much around, especially in multiplayer if there are gunners in the party, and this will allow you to keep on top of the monster. Then Blast Dash main combat use is a super fast access to burst fire that is said in the description is the focus of the style. I can see lots of synergies here, like using Bubbly to move around avoiding attacks and the zooming in with Blast Dash for the burst fire. Also, a change in Monster Hunter Now is that you can combo your Wormstake after burst fire, so this means that Blast Dash, burst fire, stake also would be possible and will be a devastating combo. Also, if they implement Blast Dash similar to Rise, we will get access to aerial moves. In Rise you can cancel your Blast Dash with shells and then get some option for air attacks. Usually you can just use a regular air slam, but there are also options like the air burst. The air burst in Rise only is possible if you are using a switch skill called Reverse Blast Dash that is like Blast Dash but with a different input, some immunity flames, and also allows you to bash the enemy with your shield for some stun damage. There is the slight possibility of Blast Dash having elements of Reverse Blast Dash. Finally, I wonder if this is going to work fine with the Skyward skill that buffs all aerial attacks. It should be. The other style is based around Guard Reload and Erupting Cannon. Guard Reload is simple to explain, works kinda similar to the full reload in Monster Hunter Wilds. The name is very descriptive. You guard while reloading. The other advantage is that you reload your stake with this move. Since you are forced into Erupting Cannon, that is it. But Guard Reload has disadvantages too. The speed is similar to a regular reload that is slower than the fast one. Then, there is no option to slam after the Guard Reload. This means that you can't reload, slam, burst. And finally, Inrise always reloads 3 shells. This is awful for normal, a bit annoying for long and not an issue at all for wide. Because of this style seems tailor-made to suit the wide shell type. Long can use it and opens the possibility of not using artillery on favor of skills that buffs all damage like Resuscitate. That makes sense given the other feature of the set, that is Erupting Cannon. Erupting Cannon is a shelling-based stake of awesome range and very good damage. It is also insanely fast compared with the Wormstake and has faster recovery and combo options. Is such a good shelling attack that people in Sunbreak ignored charged shells and played using the combo of shell, Erupting Cannon, shell, Guard Reload as a pure shelling style. But because we can't use Ground Splitter here, maybe will be not a good idea to go shelling only with Guard Reload and Erupting. Maybe. The biggest thing about Erupting Cannon is that it also buffs melee attacks. In Sunbreak the bonus was massive, a 30% that is equivalent to getting 100% affinity for free. So massive that people stopped using the Wormstake and made using Erupting Cannon mandatory. This is why the description says that this style is based on slashes. The trick here is that since Erupting replaces the Wormstake, Gunlance will lose its most powerful attack and you will be forced to use the others. Using poke shells with Guard Reload style is the straightforward option. You can use Erupting Cannon and pokes in a combo using poke shell, Erupting Cannon. Then, while being active, keep using poke shells. But in Rise and Sunbreak this combo was weak, very weak, so I don't know if it is going to be viable in now. The alternative that did a lot more damage is what I called back the time, the Claplance combo, that is after a Guard Reload, upswing, slam, sweep, Erupting Cannon, Guard Reload repeat. This is a combo that doesn't use shells. This means that instead of artillery you can use skills like Resuscitate or Sneak Attack that buffs everything including Erupting Cannon. Imagine this with bubbly sliding and hatting on the enemy. This same combo also can incorporate Burst Fire. After a Burst Fire you can either use the Erupting or Sweep. But if once again Guard Reload only gives you 3 shells, then you will be unable to use this well with long or normal. Once again all points to this being a wide-centric style. There is also the fact that this Monday only wide and normal Gunlances will be eligible for style customization. For long customization we will have to wait for the end of September where Riftbone Deviljho is introduced. By now we will know where long is best for. For the moment normal will be a nice fit for Blast Dash and wide for Erupting Cannon, but I see them being used for both. I can't wait for this Monday. Can you? Thanks for watching. See you in the hunt.